Okay, Shalom. I'm the brother Aman from the DC camp. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to you brothers out there. I wrote 10 top benefits of ginger, but I have a list of 8, and I got some scriptures here. And you know what? What I'm going to do is we're going to go over the scriptures first, and then, because what I read, it said, it's right here. So a verse, this is Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 30, verse 11. Give him no liberty in thy youth, and wink not at his follies. Right? So if you don't give yourself any type of liberty as far as being disciplined to yourself, as far as what's actually going into your body, right? Basically, as the scriptures say, train up a child when he shall. Basically, train up a child, and when he gets when he gets older, he's gonna be straight. Roughly paraphrasing. But if you basically don't give yourself liberty to go off, you're basically straight. Because I know some brothers out there are vegetarians, and that's a real disciplined spirit to have, to be vegetarian, especially coming out of Babylon. But this is right here. We're going to start right here. This is Sirach 30, verse 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and good state of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. Right? So you must understand that it starts with your mind first, and then trickles down to your body. So you got to take care of your lob being your mind, and then basically your mind is basically going to help your body. Because if you look, I'm gonna just say this: the certain properties that's in ginger. So I got it to a boil right now. I really wouldn't recommend to get it a boil that high. I'll give it to a nice little boil. But what I did was I just turned it down to like 4. I know these are like the simmer points for my stove, but that's what you brothers out there need to figure out, is the simmering points of your stove. And what you want to do, you bring it up to a nice boil, and then you let it simmer, because what you want to do is get the water hot enough to where it's heating up the outside of the ginger, right? And then you get it nice and warm, and you want to keep it warm. So what you do is you put it to simmer, and then it will basically soften the rest of the ginger. So with me, I grated my ginger. I know I'm all over the place, but I just wanted to stop that before it was boiling for too long. So what I did, this is a cheese grater, this is the ginger, and I basically washed it and cut off some of the parts of the ginger, and I grated it and then threw it in there. It makes the process a lot faster, and then the ginger is a lot thinner. You get more medicinal properties from there. So we're just going to come back to the scriptures, and we're going to start at I think it was, you know what, let me continue. There is no riches above a sound body, and the joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life, or continual sickness. So it's better to die than to be continually sick. I'm gonna jump down to 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thy own counsel. Because what brothers like to do is basically judge themselves before the Most High judges you, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be forgiven for what you did, or you're not going to go through certain things because you put yourself to certain things to build your own self up, which is you can't necessarily do that, because all brothers don't have the same training, but you still must go through training to pass. So we stopped at Salakia, I think right here. So this says right, so the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. So that's why I'm telling you brothers this, because a lot of brothers, they get sick, or it's that season to where brothers get depressed down, things to that nature. So it's best not to stay in that spirit, but you always gotta, that's why it's good you always got to keep moving, you always got to keep growing in the truth. So you don't get too comfortable with your situation, and that's what it's all about, comfortability. So if you're comfortable, you're not gonna go anywhere. Love thy own soul and confront thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, and sorrow have killed Slakia. For sorrow have killed many. Let me read that again. This is 23. I don't know if you brothers can see. I was reading off the paper. Love. Let me see it. Yep. Love thy own soul and confront thy heart. Remove from. Hey, you know what? Hey, when you confront your heart, you're more so understanding it. Like, yo, hey man, the heart is deceitful. So it's best to, certain things you got to check yourself, you can check that shit. Love thy own soul. I'm trying to make it more steady. So yeah. Love thy own soul and confront thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, and Salakia. For sorrow have killed many, and there is no profit therein. Right? Because there's nothing good coming out of there. Envy and wrath shorten the life. So you're getting angry all the time, getting that road rage all the time. It shortens your life. And carefulness bringeth age before the time. A cheerful and cheerful and good heart will have a care for his meat and diet. So you must understand, man. Someone someone that actually likes themselves, they're gonna take care of themselves, right? I just want to make sure it says carefulness bringeth age. Yeah, man, because hey, look, it says the carefulness, right? You're gonna be careful, man, because you don't want to eat certain foods, processed foods, things of that nature that's gonna kill you, man. That a lot of these processed foods, they do have extremely heavy particles or particles in those things, to where it's more toxic for the body than the properties in the food to help fight the sickness. So you're basically killing yourself as like say for instance, this ginger, if you go get it at like at a local supermarket, it's cheaper, but they got GMOs in it. But it's best to try to go to a local place to where you could talk to the farmer and they could tell you what they put in it and things of that nature. You want to try to buy the stuff that doesn't have too many chemicals in it, but it was like the best, closest as possible to a natural growth, whatever the hell that means, right? So this is what I mean about a simmer. It's not necessarily boiling, but it's moving. She's alive up in there. So what you want to, like, what I like to do, this is my testimony. If you're sick, drink this as much as possible. You gotta like some brothers, they gotta force it down. Sometimes I force it down, but then, sometimes I ain't gonna front this stuff. All right, give me 1 second. All right, get yourself some close as possible non-chemical ginger. And get some raw honey. I'm not too sure about this honey. I only used it one time, so I can't say I could recommend this one. But this one's something called it's called Really Raw Honey. It's a blue top one. It's really, 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 really good. And it also has something called bee pollen in it, to where it has other minerals and things to that nature. So let's get to the benefits of read some scriptures, get some good benefits. So what brothers must understand, that anti means against. Inflammation means like something's inflamed, or it's like swelling, it's throbbing. It's not necessarily at ease, it's at dis-ease. That's where you get that redness and stuff from. So it's an anti-inflammatory. So if you have, and it says the next one, it says relieve muscle pain. What it does is just it has those properties where it could cool those things down. Like basically, say if you like to work out, it will basically make you recover faster. So we basically took care of 2 and 1. It says settle the stomach, right? So if you have an upset stomach, you have what's that called? It's called acid reflux. If you got acid reflux, you take some ginger juice, drink that, man. It will help out with not only with the upset stomach, heartburn, also heartburn. What was the other? Acid reflux. You know, sometimes brothers will drink Minute Maid. No, that's acid. No, that's not. Yeah. Basically, acid reflux is heartburn. You know, like, if I'm mistaken, you know, brothers will correct me on the comment board. But if I'm not mistaken, it says helps prevent heart disease. Oh, so right here it says helps regulate blood sugar, man. So you know, if your blood sugar is too high, you eating too much candy, too much junk food, this stuff will help bring it down. And it says help prevent heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 killer in America. It's heart disease. You know, you can look it up. I don't have to, you know, you don't have to believe me. Reduces cancer risk, right? So you know, brothers, I don't know if brothers got cancer, but it helps, you know. So it's basically like helps prevent it, you know, eases menstrual pain, you know. So if your woman got menstrual pain, it's good for, you know, it's good for her to take. So right, we're gonna come over to. So right, this is a good one right here. Try to study it real fast for you bros. This is Ecclesiasticus Salakia, Sirach 38 verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the use which ye may have of him. For the Lord have created him, man. So you gotta give props where props is due, man. He's pretty good at what he do. Hey man, you gotta give credit where credit is due. It's the only thing you can do, you know. If you can, you know. Well, if you don't know, well, I was thinking about, like, if you can't pay him, you know, it's just like, yo, bro, you know, you really good at what you do. You gotta give props where props is due. Verse 3: the skill of the physician shall lift up his head. Slacky, I'm reading off my phone. Shall lift up his head, right? So he's going to have a certain type of pride, you know, because what he does, you know, is pretty good at what he does. And in the sight of great men, he shall be in admiration. So it was just like admiration, bros might not know what it means. So admiration. So when you look it up in the Edmon, it had with regard. Right, and then that was add, and then to wonder or wonderful, right? So it was with regard a regard of wonderfulness, you know. That's what I basically broke it down to. So continuing on, verse 4: the Lord have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. You know, so if you wise, you won't abhor them, man, because if we went back and then it said basically if you got to care for your body, you'll basically, it says right here, it says this is Ecclesiasticus 30 verse 25. A careful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet, right? So if you have a care for yourself, or you know, you're gonna take with the things that go down your mouth, is going to not necessarily, you know, it's going to be a care for the body. It's not just going to benefit your taste buds. It's going to be something that's going to help your body promote life, and not, you know, like eating Doritos, fried chicken, you know, that stuff is going to help. Graciela, please, hold the phone. I'm going to show. Just hold it here. So right, so this is basically how I grind the ginger. You know, take it nice and fine. I like to use the small ones because it's more, you get more fine fibers. So as you keep grinding and grinding, you get these little fibers. But I still keep the fibers in there. But what I do is so once the water's done, I'm a filter it through here. Say if you don't have this, what you'll do, if you don't have a strainer, you can take a plate, maybe in a rag, and then take the rag, put it on your hand, and then hold the plate with the pan, and then you could like maybe strain it into another bowl, right? Put this back. Yeah, so that's basically about it. Once you're done, heating the ginger up and stuff like that. Put a little honey in there. So what I like to do is strain it first. You know, if you don't want it eat the fibers, strain it first, and you make sure it's still warm. And what I like to do is take the spoon, like put the water in there, make sure it's still like some type of heat to it, and set the thing in there, set the spoon in there, and then that's when get the spoon a little warm or hot, and then put the spoon in the honey, because then the honey will be. I'm gonna just open it real fast. Because then the honey will be like real soft. See, it has a real high viscosity content. So with a hotter spoon, it will cut through it real softer, like easier. So like I said, I'm the brother Ahmad from the DC camp. If you brothers are sick, this is a real good way to help with your sickness. Also with the honey, you put the honey in the ginger. The ginger tea. You also at the end put the lime in there. Some brothers, I don't know if brothers like to do it. I did it one time. Put the lime, or my bad, not the lime, the lemon inside the pot. It don't taste that good, but I'm pretty sure you probably get more medicinal properties from it. But I like to basically garnish, or at the end, as put the water in the cup, honey, boom, then the lemon. Let it sit for a little bit, stir it again. And then start sipping it, man. I guarantee you, brothers. I can't say I guarantee you. Every brother's different. But this works really well for me. And there's not a time if every day you got to try to do this every day. So so as you're sick, so you got to get up earlier to prep all of this, and blah blah blah. So I hope you brothers, hope you got some type of knowledge from, some type of value from this, Yahweh Shem El Shai Brakadam, Bashim Kokodash. It's the brother Ahmad.